Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3. And today I'm going to be giving you part 16 of What If Naruto Was Sent to a Parallel Multiverse. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, I posted a brand new series over Anime King of What If Naruto Learned Black Magic from a Powerful Spirit. So go ahead, check out that and enjoy guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, yes, I indeed have 3 channels, Making 2 and Making 3, which I post what if every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Making family, and thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking back to all of you, so yeah. Without further ado, would you say begin this new episode start? The intro. So the last spot we left off. It's been a while since he had so much fun, as Naruto was facing off against Kisame. The others had to stay back, as the place was getting too destructive for them to be even close. As both Naruto and Kisame start to hack the place down to pieces. Samehata grew so large that he started to touch the ground even though Kisame was holding him up. The amount of chakra that Naruto was releasing was nothing ordinary, as they started to fight, devastating the land and destroying everything around them. The battle was chaotic as Kisame released so much water that he drenched the entire area, as Naruto froze it, as he started to launch attacks after attacks. Kisame hit Naruto with some deadly blows, but to his shudder and amazement, Naruto was able to get back up. Even after having some major wounds, he returned back to his feet, and there was a smile on his face as he was enjoying every second of this battle, as he jumped back into the fray as both of them start to devastate the land around them. They start to tear everything apart, as Naruto when his Sharingan only had 2 totem in it. His powers returning, and this battle was bringing him so much joy, as Sakura, Sahara, and Kiba couldn't believe what they were witnessing. They knew that Naruto was strong, but this was beyond anything they could even imagine. As the battle raged, as Naruto decided to put an end to Kisame as they release thousands of bones that tear apart the ground. Kisame disappeared as he moved fast, moving as fast as he could to meet Naruto, but Naruto released a force that broke his arms and legs. As Samehata betrayed Kisame after feeling Naruto chakra so enticed. With that, Naruto erased the man from existence, taking his head as a trophy so that he could bring it back as proof as he defeated Kisame. Once he returned back to the group, he fell, his body being too weak to sustain for so long. When he woke up, he felt someone near him, as it was Sahara, and there was also Samehata as well, who wouldn't leave his side, as Samehata took in a real liking to Naruto's chakra. So with that, Naruto went outside as he saw Sakura, as she was doing first shift. As she was surprised, she still couldn't understand how was he this strong. As she told him that she would beat him no matter what, still believing that she could catch up to him. As he found it really amusing, so did Kisame. When they returned back to the village, Minato was stunned. Yes, he knew that Naruto was getting strong abilities, but this was not what he expected. He was shaken. Minato was there as well, as she was surprised. She reported back to her brother, who he had yet to know his identity, as she told him everything. Other than that, Hokage came to Naruto, as she told him that she did some more research about Minato. It turns out that her father, Kagami, was not her real father, and there was another child. As things were getting interesting though, but she didn't have that information yet, so she would have to go and find it. As she asked Naruto to do her a little favor as she wants some DNA samples. As he didn't mind after all, she's been a big help to him so far, and he intends to return the favor to her. But that was not the only issue though. With the defeat of Kisame, the nations became wary of Naruto, especially the three allied nations that were allied in secret, as this was now problematic, as Naruto had shown the capability to surpass his father very soon, so they want to put an end to him. So they all come together to bring forward his demise. Unknown to them, no, Naruto was listening over everything. After getting the information from Kisame's head, Naruto knew everything that they were planning. He would not say anything, he would just wait until they send their best ninjas after him. As he was really enjoying the chase, it was fun. This world will soon know what he was capable of after all his power was returning at a fast rate. Soon enough he will bring forward what he used to be, a god amongst men, and they will all bow. So yeah guys, that's basically as we left off. Remember to go ahead and check out the brand new series over on Anime King of What If Naruto learned black magic from powerful spirit. And enjoy that guys, and yes, stay in tune for a brand new episode coming over Anime King 2 later on for you guys to enjoy. And remember, for anyone this first time hearing my voice, go ahead and click that subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. Thank you for all for your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking about all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode? Let's get straight into it guys. We begin this episode at Konoha, in the Hokage's office. Minato Namikaze was currently sitting down. The man was not pleased. It has been 3 years since Naruto had defeated Kisame. 3 years since Naruto has become someone that the other nations wanted to get rid of. Those 3 years has passed with a lot of problems here and there. For one thing, the nine-tailed fox was gone. Minato had went to speak to the Uzumakis, especially his son Menma, regarding this issue. Menma was now the head of the Uzumaki clan. He and the other Uzumakis had no idea how the nine-tailed just vanished like that, since the person that had pretended to be Minato had came down here. They had tightened their defenses. But it was not just that one was gone, the other one was missing as well. They had split the power in half because the power was so powerful. Their seal could not hold it down for too long, so they had to weaken the beast. Other than someone giving their life, they could not permanently trap the beast. But now, the two half of the nine-tailed was missing. For now, no one else knew this besides Minato and a few selected people that he trusts, and the Uzumaki clan head being his son and his wife, and the top few Uzumaki elders that remain. The main one being Yoshino, who had become like an advisor to Menma. But they could not allow this information to get out anywhere for the other nations to know that the beast that was the mightiest amongst all the nine-tailed beasts was gone from Konoha. It started with the nine-tailed, but it did not end there. Gaara, Sabuku Nagara of the Sand, has been taken. No one knew where he was taken. This happened 2 years ago. The Hidden Sand was attacked, and the boy was taken, not without a fight though, but he lost. He was beaten and taken away from the village without anyone noticing what the hell was going on. That news was rather public, as someone had spread the information. Minato did not know why the person did that, or whoever it was. And yet, if it was the same person that took the nine-tails, how did they not spread the nine-tails rumor? It still didn't make any sense what was going on. But that was not the only issue. There has been several things that has been happening over the past 3 years. Stone, Kumo, and Kiri ninjas had been spotted close to its border like they were scoping it out. X hadn't picked up anything on them trying to make a move, and so hadn't his other Anbu captains, so he didn't know what they were trying to plan or do. 3 years ago, Minato had started a sequence of planning to enact a plan that he called the Enlightenment that would change everything. But now his plan was at a bit of stalemate, with the Kyuubi being gone because he intended to use the power of the Great Beast to enact his plan. This was becoming more and more problematic. For one thing though, his son Naruto has been attacked from left and right for the past 3 years, but never has he once kneeled to any one of these fighters. He always came out on top. He wasn't sure how powerful his son was at this point, but Naruto was defeating opponents after opponents, and they stood no chance against him. The weird thing about it was Minato has not seen him put that much effort into training for the past 3 years. But his powers that he was somehow getting, that was still a mystery to Minato and everyone else, had just been amplifying to no end. He's become rather powerful, and not to mention a bit dark. As Kushina had talked to him about this, Naruto has shown no mercy to anyone that he fought so far. Kushina knew that this world was a dangerous place, but her son was dipping into something that she didn't like, and it made her worry. But Minato believed that he was all fine. There was a lot of people after him for the reason. Him being his son, and not to mention growing stronger, and they wanted to stop their progress. Minato was glad that he was able to protect himself, but Kushina was worried that Naruto was becoming a bit too dark. He's been shown to do things lately that, well, while protecting himself, it was so ruthless that he got her worried. She had spoke to him about this, but he told her that everything would be fine. And he was fine, there was nothing to worry about. But that didn't mean that she wasn't worried about him. Mito has also saw the more darker changes as well, as she had spoken to her mother about this. As when they went on missions, Naruto has not shown mercy to his enemies. Not that they deserve it, but it was just the way that he dealt with them. The way he smiled, the way he chuckled as he did it. It scared her sometime. But he always assured her with a smile that everything was fine. But Minato believed that there wasn't an issue to worry about, and that Naruto was just realizing the world is not a sweet, calm place, and it needed a rough, stern hand to keep it in check. As Naruto was growing into someone he believed he could pass things on to when the time come after all, he was showing to be getting more and more powerful as the days went by. And Minato liked that, but you just have to keep on watching him for the moment and make sure that everything was in order. But unknown to Minato, things were happening under his nose that he wasn't even aware of. Things were happening that he doesn't even know. And for now, he will not until the time finally came for the revolution to happen. His plan will have to wait because he was bordering on using the power to Nine-Tailed Fox. But for now, he will have to wait. Speaking of Naruto, he was currently sitting down in a chair, far away from the Hidden Leaf village. As his chair was on snow, he was close, but not so close to be detected, to the land of iron. He was surrounded by at least 25 ninjas. Assassins came here to get rid of him. The attacks had not stopped. The more he crushed, the more they see him as a threat and want him to be erased. At first it was weak ninjas, and then they became stronger and stronger, and they became more exciting. A lot has happened over the past 3 years. A lot to entice Naruto into just sitting back and having fun as he watched everything unravel, and things were going on well. At the moment though, he was looking a bit different. The years has been kind to him. His hair had grown out and it was currently in his back. He preferred it that way. He was wearing a shirt, well, more like a vest, given that there was nothing on the inside except for his rock hard six packs and his pecs. The black markings were now permanently on his body, no longer dimming in and out. He wore black pants with comfortable sandals. Although he preferred bare feet, but he got to like these sandals. There was no weapon on him, nothing at all from the eye could see. His body had surely matured. Because of the fluctuation of power inside him, it seems it had pushed his body to what it even wasn't supposed to be at. to what it was now. As Naruto stood at around 6 feet tall, impressively tall for someone who was just 16 years old. His muscles had been well defined. They had been crafted from years of working out in his own timeline, and they seemed to have replicated on this body quite well. He calmly sat in the chair that he was in. There was a glass in his hand, some freshly squeezed orange juice. As he looked out to the horizon, he was now a jonin of Konoha. While the title meant nothing to him, the only reason why he took part in the exam was to have some fun. It turned out to be less exciting than he expected, but he still passed. But that was not the big deal here. He had currently finished his mission, when he had sensed people watching him. So he had came out in the open in a deserted area, for them to show themselves, and they finally did. The man that stood in front of him was wearing a full face mask, the only thing shown being his eyes. As Naruto focused on him, "I'm guessing that you're the leader, huh?" The man unsheathed his blade without saying a single word. Then he spoke. "Yes, I am. And I'm here for your head." "My head?" said Naruto. "You know, many have tried what you have done in the past, and they all have failed. Are you sure that you can take it?" said Naruto. "I will not leave until I do. It will be better for you if you surrender now, without putting yourself through unnecessary agony." "Is that so?" said Naruto. "So you want me to surrender?" "Yes. That would be the best course of action for you now." "What is this? Some kind of political talk for you to end my existence? It's quite disrespectful for you to be standing. After all, standing in front of a god is not something you do lightly." "A god? Unlike gods, you can die. And I'm here to give you a swift death, painful if you resist." "You know," said Naruto, "I'm not really in the mood to fight you. Yeah, surprising given who I am. But that's not the reason. I love to see her fight. It kind of turned me on to watch her fight, get me all excited." The group narrowed their eyes. "Her? I never knew you felt that way," Naruto answered the voice. The captain was frozen where he stood. Someone was behind him. "Ow!" The other members turned, but they heard a squelching sound. The captain looked down to see a hand protruding from his stomach. As he was pushed off, the hand dropped to the ground. The person walked forward and squelched, crushing his head under her boot. As Naruto looked forward towards the elegant woman in front of him. Long, crimson hair, beautiful as they come, curves that will get man dying for her. The most beautiful shade of red eyes with slits. She was wearing a one-piece tight red and black suit that fit her perfectly, with a coat that came down towards the back of her knees. She was just stunning. As she walked over towards him and laid a kiss on his lip, ignoring the possible dangerous shinobi's around. As she looked around, again she said, "You would think after so many failed attempts, they would learn their lessons." "You're telling me," said Naruto. "And these guys aren't even the powerful ones. They're just the henchmen, the weak ones, to waste my time." She sat in his lap. "Yeah, they're pretty boring." The ninjas around started to go through hand signs to end the pair as jutsus were launched. But, to their surprise, it was reflected by a wall of nothingness, as they could not see what reflected. The only thing they knew was that the jutsu came back twice powerful, as they had to launch themselves away. Some of them did not make it though, as they were caught up in the blast. They were shredded to pieces. The one that survived came marching back up. Their mission was to take him down or die trying. And that is exactly what they will do. "Oh, I know," said Naruto. He bit his finger before he dripped a couple drops of blood on the snow. That drop of blood started to twist and twirl until It grew into something monstrosity. Something that got the ninja stepping back in utter true fear. Just like the Jobe in Naruto had all of its abilities, the Jobe was able to release and break its body down to fight for it, as Naruto could do the same thing as well. The ninja stepped back when the thing roared. It had 5 arms, 4 of them had giant cleaver blades on it, the 5th one had a spear for an arm. It had 3 heads, all of them twisting in agony and rage. The thing launched forward and there was nothing but death and destruction. As both Katsumi and Naruto sat down and laughed, enjoying the little show in front of them, they really come to enjoy the rather gruesome scene. As she started to kiss him, it was amazing having her real body once again. Once Naruto was powerful enough, he did, as he said what he was gonna do. He gave her back her body, and she was now back to what she once was. As for her stepping into the village with Naruto, well, that was an interesting case. But at the moment, Naruto was disturbed when someone appeared behind him. The person stood there as the person watched the onslaught that happened around him. The person remained quiet until the onslaught was over, as the beast turned its gaze towards the person and roared. As it started to step towards him, until Naruto looked towards it as it stopped, it melted back into the puddle of the blood and vanished. "So, Toby," said Naruto, "how can I help you today?" The man stepped forward. "I don't know why you insist on calling me that name. It's not my name." "Well, it's not like I know who you really are," said Naruto, "and you won't tell me. So what should I call you? You know what? Don't answer that. I don't care. I'll call you whatever I like." As Naruto figured he would call the man Toby, considering Obito was using the same name in his timeline and he was the big bad. It was the same man that had came to him when he was gonna rescue Katsumi from the Nine Tails. He had popped up every now and then for the past few years. He had seen Naruto doing some things that seemed impossible, and releasing power that should be impossible to him. His sister Mikoto had told him that Naruto was being controlled by someone, but the more time that went on, the more he wasn't sure. He had not yet bring up the subject on Naruto being controlled. He was just merely trying to wonder what he was doing, and why he was doing it for. As Katsumi leaned her head on Naruto's shoulder. "So what do you want now?" she asked. And this woman, she just popped out of nowhere, as she had incredible power. As the man didn't understand what did they want, it was like they just didn't care about anything. Just did what they want, and he didn't understand. He had black hair that reached down towards his neck. His eyes, they were a bit narrowed. His face looked like a normal, dark Uchiha type. And Naruto had no idea who the hell he was. But that is what made things interesting. Knowing everything would get boring fast, but for one thing he knew, that this was Mikoto's brother. But he didn't know that, but Naruto knew that he was Mikoto's brother. And that Mikoto was not who she says she were, especially the rest of the Uchihas. After all, the ones who supposedly died were supposed to be the fighters, but the ones who were now alive, they had the Sharingan, and some of them had the Mangekyo, including Itachi, and that girl, he found out her name was Izumi. And Shisui was alive as well, but supposedly he was dead to the village. As something was going on that Naruto found interesting, as this was his main source of entertainment. "So, stolen the other tail beasts lately," said Naruto. The man, who was now going by Toby for Naruto, had been the one that stole the 9 tails. As Naruto had sensed at the moment he appeared in the village, with his power returning so much, he felt it and he had made his way there. The man was surprised that Naruto was standing there when he had arrived, as Naruto had merely smiled and left him to do as he pleased. That was another thing that confused the man. Naruto allowed him to take the 9 tails without even raising a sign of caution or even saying anything to anyone. He had just watched him and then went off. In actuality, he seemed much happier by him taking the 9 tails. "You still haven't reported that to anyone yet, or even tell anyone what you saw," said Toby. as he stepped beside Naruto. Perhaps there's something that you want. Not really, said Naruto. Even if I did, not sure if you can offer it to me. Toby was just interested to find out exactly what Naruto was. So far, Mikoto has found nothing that she could give him to tell her exactly what this kid was about, or what did he want. How did he possess such power? And if he was indeed being controlled, who was the one controlling him? You don't know I'm not gonna tell you anything, right? Unless you tell me who you are first. And what you want, right? Said Naruto, as he glanced towards the man. My plans are complex, and I don't think that you will be able to handle what I have in store for this entire world. So far, you have proven to not really care about certain things. I've noted that you're not loyal to your village or your even own father, given that he's a Hokage. After all, if you were, you would have instantly told him that. You saw what happened when the Nine Tails was taken away, but you have not said a word to anyone yet. You have not shown any interest of telling anyone what you saw. You've just done absolutely nothing, sitting back and watching everything play out, which makes no sense. After all, you've grown as a Konoha ninja. You've been trained to be one. So why won't you alert anyone about what you saw? Or you even Naruto Uzumaki anymore? You're trying to find out if I'm being controlled or something, said Naruto. The man narrowed his eyes. He was waiting for this moment. As Naruto shrugged, who's to say? Perhaps I am, perhaps I'm not. Perhaps I should take the information out of you forcefully after all. You've been dodging me for the past couple of years, said Toby. As Katsumi laughed. Did I say something funny? Toby asked. Yes, of course. You said you would take the information out of him forcefully. It's a shame. I didn't expect you to die so soon. Die? And what do you mean by that? Oh, said Naruto as he stretched a bit and fixed her better in his lap, wrapping his arms around her waist. She's merely implying that I would kill you if you try anything, which doesn't amuse me. You've been entertaining so far. Yes, I've been watching you as much as you've been watching me. I must say, I'm looking forward to this plan of yours, to see what you have in store for the world. It will be rather interesting to see what you have to bring forward. And what if what I do brings the destruction of Konoha? Would you be alright with that then? Who knows, said Naruto. Perhaps it would be amusing to watch your family and your friends all follow the man axe. As Naruto simply shrugged. Toby stepped forward and he was now in front of the two of them. His gaze locked on Naruto's, as Naruto's gaze was locked on his. As Naruto's lips turned up into a smile. Are we gonna keep staring in each other's eyes? Or are you gonna propose or something, said Naruto. I mean, that gaze is rather intense. The man chuckled a bit. Throughout all my years, I've never met someone so complex as you. Out of everyone in the elemental nation, you don't make any sense. But trust me when I say this, I will find out who or what you are soon enough. But from what I can see so far, you don't intend to stop what I'm doing as long as you find whatever entertaining. Don't worry, soon enough, I'll bring you a lot of entertainment. But, you know, joining me would be a better way of seeing a lot more entertainment. I assure you my plans will strap you in for quite the ride while I shoot this entire world. Oh, is that so, said Naruto. You're planning on doing something destructive? The man said nothing. And you want me to join you? Because you saw how powerful I am, said Naruto. And knowing if I decide to turn against you, it would be quite the fight. Or if I decide to ruin your plans, because you don't know where I am, watching you. After all, I saw you speaking to your little friends. The man narrowed his gaze. Yes, I was also there when you stole the One Tails. The man fixed his gaze on Naruto because no one was there when he did that. I'm just that sneaky, said Naruto. So you know about that. What do you intend to do with that information and whatever else you got? Oh, nothing, said Naruto. As long as you don't bore me, please turn out to be something interesting, because if not, then what, the man asks. Do I really have to spell it out, said Naruto. I don't think I have to. But, just make sure that you're something at least interesting, so that I can enjoy it. Hey, Toby, said Katsumi. He narrowed his gaze towards her. Do you like to watch two people having sex, she asks. What? He said. Because if you stick around, you're gonna have to watch us, she said, as she started to undo her top. As Naruto smiled, she fixed herself on him as Toby narrowed his gaze at the couple before he vanished. The chair that Naruto was on shifted into a platform, as they were now lying down as she was on top of his chest. Much better, she said, as the both of them were out in the open in the snow. But they really didn't give a crap. The unknown man that was now going by the name Toby found himself in a hall. As he started to walk, he still hadn't gotten anything. He arrived to see his sister Mikoto down the hall. You went to speak to him again, didn't you? She asked. As he nodded. What did you get this time? As she looked towards him, seeing the look on his face. Nothing, as usual. I told you. There's something going on with him. I'm not sure if he's being controlled or if he's the one in charge, but he won't give you anything. What about your end? Do you know how powerful he is right now? Asked Toby. I don't. Since he fought Kisame, that was a few years ago, and Kisame is a S-rank missing ninja. I'm not sure how much more stronger he has gotten. My daughter told me that he has gotten indeed stronger, but she has not seen the full extent of his power. What about the woman? She claims to be at Uzumaki. He found her a year and a half ago while on a mission. Apparently, she was being experimented on by some unknown scientists. Inuicha went in her head to confirm this, and it turns out that she was correct. She wasn't lying. Information of her appearance before they were attacked and killed right in front of her mentally scarred her. It seems that they had escaped before the destruction of Ozu, before the rest of the Uzumakis came to Konoha. But the Uzumakis have accepted her into their home, like one of theirs after all, you know. Their motto, it's family over everything else. She has been hanging around with him a lot lately. You say that you're intimate while you're out of the village, but inside, I've not seen that. It's more like they're friends. Another thing he's hiding, said Toby. As he looked frustrated. Why does this frustrate you so much, he asks. He knows too much. Don't you get it? I don't even know the full extent of what he knows and what he's capable of. Every time I try, my instincts are screaming at me not to fight him, no matter what. What do you want me to do, she asks. I don't know. We need to try and get some more information out of him. He's been following me and watching me, and I don't even know that he's there. The man checked himself over. I have not been tagged or anything, so I don't know how he's doing this. He knows I was the one that ate the 1 tails after all. He was there when I took 9 tails. He does know about me, right? She said. No, you're still a mystery to him. He doesn't know that we're brother and sister. Well, that's good. That is why this is the only place we can meet up. Nowhere out in the open. He won't be able to find this place. But otherwise from here, nowhere else. He's really putting you on edge, isn't he? You should be on edge too. If this little shit decide to investigate even more and find out that you're my sister, if he finds out about you, your plans in Konoha with the other Uchihas will be ruined before it even starts. And we're so close. Trust me, he won't know. Why don't you have me use Shisui on him? Shisui could solve all 4 problems. I'm not sure that would work. What if he's already being controlled? What if his mind is already plagued with a control? Said Toby. And if you do that with Shisui, it only means that he will find out that you are aligned with me. He will put it together. As much as he doesn't look it, while he's just having fun, he's smart. And I won't let anything to go a chance. So for now, keep her distance along with Shisui. She frowned. Who do you think I am, she said. I was able to trick everyone within Konoha, making them think that I'm an allied person of the leaf. You think I can't handle one little boy? Yes, he might be powerful. He might be used right now, but this is a chance. Allow me to get the information from him by using a more dangerous means. And if it doesn't work, Toby said, then it does not. But, as you said, he has too much information for us not to know what is going on. As things are right now, we have all other sectors under our control. He's the only mystery, and we can't allow him to go on like this. And not to mention, if this is going on, my daughter is also in trouble. If he finds out about me, and knowing that we're working together, he might just use her against me and you. And Sahara has become quite attached to him. I doubt. Sometimes I even doubt that she would choose me over him. What? Said Toby. Are you serious? Her bond with him has become so great. Sometimes I worry that she would rather choose him over me. The man frowned at that. Why didn't you tell me this? It wasn't a problem until lately, when I noticed certain behaviors of hers. At first I was gonna bring her into the fold, but at this point I think that she wouldn't be able to handle what we have in store. Because I believe that she would tell everything to him. Everything. And if he finds out, Obito frowned at that. No, this was bad. Time skip at Konoha. As Naruto handed the scroll over to Minato. Another successful mission done. You're on your way of beating your brother and my record in amount of successful missions, said Minato as Naruto has been really putting in the work. Becoming a Jonin and all was impressive, but his mission record was astonishing. Not a single failed mission. All of them a 100% successful rate. Well, I intend to be the best, said Naruto. Being the best means never failing. As Minato nodded at that, true. But you have to pace yourself. You've been on a lot of missions lately. Don't you think it's time for you to take a rest? I'm fine, said Naruto. I can keep on going. This made Minato smile, the will to not give up. He then turned his head towards Katsumi. And you, Katsumi, he said. It seems you're fitting in quite well. Yes, I am, she said. Thank you once again, Hokage-sama. As Minato nodded. When the girl first arrived here, she was shaky. She was afraid of being touched by anyone except for Naruto because he was the one that saved her. In which she had went through her memories, and the memories were there. She was kidnapped and she was being used, experimented on for a long time. These experiments gave her inhuman abilities, strength, speed, reflexes, and her chakra. Her chakra was tainted, dark, and it was the reason why her eyes were slitted like that. It was all in what Inuichi saw. Naruto had erased the man that had been experimenting on her, as Inuichi had saw it in her memory, when Naruto had obliterated the man right in front of her, and saved her. She got an emotional attachment to him. She was a few years older than him, but she was following Maroon always by his side. She didn't want to leave his side, as Naruto was the one to convince her to become a ninja of the village. Right now she was a chunin after all. She just recently became a ninja after her traumatic event. The rest of the Uzumakis were all too welcome to welcome her in their home after they checked her blood and realized, yes, she was indeed 100% Uzumaki, and there was no mistake in that. Minato, seeing her attachment to Naruto, had placed her under Naruto's care. He was more than enough to protect her and himself out there, and not to mention she also wanted to pay him back for saving her life, so she always wanted to do good by him. And Minato also believed that the two of them were a good matchup for each other. Despite her being a bit older, Naruto seemed to like her enough. Even though Kushina was against this at first, her being a bit older than her son. But Katsumi had proven to be a wonderful person. She was incredibly nice to Kushina, always showing that she was here to bring comfort and warmth, never showing the opposite. Kushina had warmed up to her, so had Mito, as they became wonderful friends. So now there wasn't really much of a problem with her. But Minato so far has not seen anything escalate between them. so he wasn't sure. He will have to talk to his son about this soon, because she would be a good spouse. As Minato accepted this rule, as he dismissed the both of them. As they were making their way through the hall, they ran across Mikoto, who saw them. "Naruto-san, Katsumi-san," she said, as she greeted the both of them with a smile. "Just coming back from a mission?" she asked. "Yes," said Naruto. "Well, you have been doing these like crazy lately. You know you should pace yourself. I'm not saying that you should stop or anything, but pace yourself. Although knowing you, you want to become the best, don't you?" As Naruto smiled. "There isn't anything else," he said. As she gave him back a smile. "Well then, I'll see you two later," she said, bidding them farewell. As Katsumi watched her leave, staring at the woman asked, "You're making it rather obvious," said Naruto. "Can you blame me?" she asked. "I mean, look at her. Not to mention with the whole evil planning that she had going on. It just makes her irresistible." As Katsumi licked her lips. "We need to find a way to get her in our bed. It will be amazing. You just like the dark aroma around her," said Naruto. "Well, what else?" said Katsumi. "It's intoxicating. So, let us go." As the group started to walk once again, making their way. Once they exit the tower, Naruto-kun. As Naruto turned his head to see Sakura, she had a smile on her face. "Are you just coming back?" she asked. As she looked towards Katsumi and greeted her with a small bow of her head. As Katsumi greeted her back with a smile. "Hello, Sakura-san," she said. As Sakura smiled a bit. Sakura has changed a bit over the years. In certain areas, she has become well developed. As there has been several individuals, guys in the village, around her age group, that were rather pissed off at Naruto because she was always around him. Kiba for one, as Sakura never leave Naruto's side. It seemed like she was not interested in anyone else. And that pissed Kiba off. Because she was smoking. She was currently wearing a tight upper bodysuit with a black jacket over that stopped right at her stomach. The black suit covering her stomach. She was wearing a skirt, a dark blue with black tights underneath. The Uchiha crest was on the back, and high-thigh sandals. As her hair was done up in a ponytail going down her back. She looked quite amazing. "Do you mind if I borrow him? There's something important I want to talk to him about." I don't mind. You two kids go and have your fun," said Katsumi, as she chuckled a bit. "And where are you going?" said Naruto. "Back to the Uzumaki compound. I'll see you later." As Sakura placed a hand on his shoulder, and the both of them vanished in a sunshine. As she brought him to a secluded area behind the monument, in the foliage of trees down below. The moment they arrived there, she did not wait. She tackled his lips, as Naruto kissed her back. Now this had been something that happened in the past 3 years. After pretending to save Katsumi and implanting those memories, fooling Inoichi, Naruto had been caught by Sakura making out with Katsumi. And she was confused at first. It seemed she still did not understand her feelings regarding him. As she seemed to be upset at him kissing Katsumi very much. But Naruto told her that he was alright, as she was not the only one he liked. He liked her too. Sakura was confused at first, but she just didn't want him to leave. She didn't want him to be with someone else unless he was with her. She had become rather attached to him in a sense. Somehow the attachment had affected Naruto as well because he come to rather like her more than he expected. And after seeing what they did, a few days after she had asked him if they could do it too, she didn't seem to mind what was going on with him and Katsumi as long as he also did it with her as well. And from there things kind of escalated. And when they went out on a mission, well, they had stayed at a hotel and they only got one bedroom. And things escalated beyond the point of no return. The only one that was not told about this was Hanabi. Hanabi, on the other hand, her and Naruto were still together. He had not told Sakura about her yet because, well, despite she being a bit calmer with her now than she was before, there just has not been a situation where he had to explain himself about that yet. Hanabi and him had been getting along really well lately too. Really, really well. As the both of them break apart, the both of you, took longer. On this mission, did you sleep with her? Asked the Hera. As Naruto raised eyebrow, as they had never discussed this before. And what brings this up? She told me. When, said Naruto, knowing that is exactly something that Kisame would do. She told me that it would be better if I were to join the both of you, so we could both share you. And she said that she wanted to share me as well. As Naruto saw the confused look on her face. Well, she's kind of into girls as well, said Naruto. So she likes you. Yes, I know that. But it's just, I've never... Oh, I know that, said Naruto. But what do you think, he asks. Well, I'm not against the idea. I mean, it has just been you and me alone, never someone else. But I wouldn't say no to trying it once, to see how it feels. As there was a smile on Naruto's face. You're loving this, aren't you, she said. And what makes you say that? Ever since I brought it up, you cannot stop smiling, she said. I'm smiling, said Naruto as he touched his face. Yes, you're happy, she said. Don't worry. I'm glad that you're happy, as she kissed him once again, as she broke apart. I have booked a hotel for us, so that we can spend more time together, she said. As they had not told anyone about this. As Naruto said that he didn't want to tell people about this. Yet, she didn't know why, but she didn't mind. As long as the both of them were together, she was happy. And Naruto was happy as well. Incredibly so, so much so, that he has not really done anything destructive to Konoha. Given in the past where he literally wiped it away along with the other nations, he's been rather calm in this timeline, but there was another big bad here. Well, he was the biggest and the baddest, but he wants to see how things would play out before he got up and personal. Time skip. As Naruto was sitting down in a chair. Well, you've been quite busy, Hokage said, as she was currently looking over some lab reports. As she turned towards me, tossed her a scroll as she caught it. She opened said scroll and unsealed the object inside. It was a signed agreement from the land of mountains. A secluded country that mostly stay by themselves. They were not the most richest, not the most powerful. As Hokage smiled looking at the scroll, as they had surrendered over towards Naruto, they did not know it was him. He had stepped in their village like a ghost. In a day he had managed to force the leaders to bend the knee. It's not like Hokage wanted the place. What she wanted was the mountains, the mining. There were some materials that she needed, that the workers were mining for, and they decided to hand them over. As long as she called off her ghosts. As Naruto said that he was just an agent, working for someone. She did not give her name, but she did show her appearance, but not exactly her real face, as she couldn't have them knowing who she was. After all, she was still under the guise as a Konoha ninja. But they got what they wanted. The materials, and the country wouldn't have to suffer anymore. Well, you surely work fast. As Naruto leaned back. I'm just that good, he said. So what do you have for me? Well, you're right. Over these past 3 years I've been collecting information, a lot of it to be exact. The remaining Uchihas, all of them possess Sharingans. So the rumors about the fighters being killed, well, that was seeming to be a lie. And not to mention, the body of Fukaku Uchiha. When I went by to find out the exact information regarding his death, it turns out that the one that studied his body gave me exactly what was told to everyone else. What's so confusing about that? The thing is, it's been years now, and there was word for word. There was no written report. The man told me exactly what was said. So I decided to have a little tinkering with his head. It turns out that he was being controlled. There was foreign chakra in his system, but it was so fade. It was like a different source of control that I'd never seen before. But I'm sure that is a visual one. So the Sharingan, said Naruto. Exactly. You told me that Shizu was alive. If he's alive, I believe that he was the one that did this. A complete overwrite of someone's subconscious, making them believe what he said is true. So, Fukaku's death was not how it happened. Yes, but the man is indeed dead. I'm not sure why they killed him. Perhaps he wasn't going along with their plans. But he is dead. Have you found out anything else on this Toby character? No, said Naruto. He's still being quite sketchy. But as I said, Mikoto is a spy in the village. I'm sure that he's her brother. What have you found out there? Well, it turns out that their mother spent distance away from the village, and she reported to be a Uchiha business. As you know, the Uchihas have different allies out of the village. When she was younger, she spent months away from the village. Months away where she could have been with someone else. To have Mikoto and this so-called brother that you call Toby. But I'm not sure who the father is, or where her body is. I went to the grave, and her body is missing. Stolen before I could even get there. Well then, said Naruto, things are getting really interesting. And them collecting tail pieces. Perhaps they're trying to do the same plan that they did in your timeline. No, said Naruto. I can feel that there's something different here. Something that I don't know, but it is making things more fun, said Naruto. Don't you agree? Unlike you, I don't really love mystery, Hokage said. I always want to know what is going on. But I have another piece of information for you. It turns out that Hayashi is gonna have his daughter marry off soon. What, said Naruto? Yes, that little Hyuga girl that I've caught you with. It turns out that soon enough he's gonna have her married off. What are you gonna do about that? Perhaps I'll kill Hayashi, said Naruto. Isn't that taking that a bit too far, Hokage said. I mean, he is the head of the Hyuga clan. Yeah, you're right, said Naruto. Let me guess, you're not gonna let this one go, are you? She said. Nah, I've kind of come to like Hanabi, and not to mention, just like Sahara, she's loyal to me. So, no, she's mine, I won't let her go, said Naruto. Well then, you're gonna have to do something about that. Because I heard that there's already someone in the works for her to get married to. She just has not been told yet. Like always quick with the information, said Naruto. But I'll discuss that later. What about X? Well, you're right. I had him followed. It took a long while, but he's indeed a Uchiha. On a recent mission, I had some of my pawns face off against him. And yes, he does have a Sharingan. It's here, and his face shape from the photos I've shown you a long time ago. As she tossed a photo to him as Naruto caught it. I've modified it a bit. What do you see there? This is my father, said Naruto. Actually, it's X. I've just edited a bit. You can see the resemblance, don't you? Yeah, said Naruto. But we already know this has something to do with my father. So you believe that X is my brother as well? Yes. But the mother? I don't know, Hokage said. But I think I know who it is. Mikoto, said Hokage. Exactly, said Naruto. But I'm not sure. But you're gonna need some blood to prove it, right? Exactly. I know when he's gonna be going on to another mission I've gotten certain information about his schedule. He's gonna be doing something really dangerous soon. Would you like to know? Yes, said Naruto. I'll get you a sample of his blood. You know that entail harming him, right? As Naruto smiled, he won't even know it is me. But I'll get you what you want. I want to know what is his purpose in this game. And why was he created? And why did my father keep him away? Even if it's not my mother's son. And it's Mikoto's. I want to know what my father is playing at because he's playing a completely different game from what Mikoto and Obito is playing. As Hokage walked towards a board where there were several things on it, as it was a circle around Obito's head, where there was a crude drawing of a faceless man, the name Obito under it, Mikoto's mother in the center. As they were trying to link it all together, the mystery was just unraveling. as this all interests Naruto a lot. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want to see next part and do like, subscribe, comment down below. Turn on that bell notification to be posted. But I'm off for now. See you guys soon. Peace.